What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, this past Friday, a couple of days ago, I seen this video out there in El Paso, Texas, of migrants or illegal immigrants breaking down the one of the chain link fences, barbed wire barricades they have, in which I think they said 100 or so migrants pulled the gate down and just ran through the guards, and luckily they were stopped by a bigger gate. Now, I want to talk about this a little bit, and I'm gonna come at a different angle, but I think this is an embarrassment for America. I do. And it makes these government officials and those in power look stupid that are fighting over nothing when the problem is common and needs to be fixed immediately. Take a look at this footage of what I'm talking about. Look at it closely. And then I'm going to come back and talk about a couple of things I saw in that video. Take a look.
This morning, tensions escalating on the Texas border. Dramatic new video shows a struggle between Border Patrol and migrants in El Paso. The video shows dozens of migrants pulling aside a razor wire fence, then pushing their way past a handful of Border Patrol agents. The migrants were eventually stopped a short time later by a steel fence, where border agents and Texas DPS contained the situation and processed the 400 to 600 migrants. Governor Greg Abbott posting on social media that after the incident, law enforcement quickly regained control and are redoubling the razor wire barriers, while urging Texas DPS to arrest those involved for criminal trespass and destruction of property. Earlier this week, video captured in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, shows migrants placing blankets over a similar barbed wire fence to protect themselves as they pass through. This all comes as the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals heard arguments this week about the controversial Texas bill SB 4. The bill would allow local authorities in Texas to arrest migrants suspected of crossing illegally and empower state judges to order deportations back to Mexico. The Supreme Court allowed the bill to go into effect for hours on Tuesday, only for the law to be paused again upon appeal. The circuit court judges appearing skeptical.
This is the first time, it seems to me, that a state has claimed that they have the right to remove illegal aliens.
States outside of Texas are also feeling pressure to get involved at the border. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says he won't send National Guard troops to the border, despite calls from his Republican-led legislature.
The last thing in the world I'm going to do is put the brave women and men of the Pennsylvania National Guard's lives at risk to be part of some political squabble at the border.
Officials tell NBC News that the type of incident that occurred in El Paso is rare at the border. CBP emphasizing that individuals who are here without a legal basis to remain in the U.S. are subject to deportation and would not be allowed to reapply for admission for at least 5 years. And as for that new law, it remains on hold. No word yet on when we might expect a ruling. Craig?
All right, guys. First thing is this. After seeing, I ain't into politics like that, and I'm being honest with you. A lot of y'all will probably get mad at me saying this, but I mean, seeing that, it kind of pissed me off. In fact, it kind of made me mad, like really made me mad, because this is how I was looking at it. They're understaffed down there, and everybody knows it. They've been like that for the past 7 years dealing with this situation, though it wasn't as big as it is now. I used to live next door to a state trooper, right? When I was at another residence. And me and him would talk sometimes, and he would have to go down to the border for like 3 weeks at a time. Like they would have to send state policemen back and forth along with National Guardsmen and stuff. And they would have to take shifts. And he would always come back and he would talk to me. He'd be like, I'm scratching my head. He's like, first they tell us to do this, then they tell us to do that. Then it's like they tell us we're going to be down there for 3 weeks. Then we wind up being there a month. We don't have replacements. This whole thing, I mean, how much red tape is behind keeping people out of the country that's not supposed to be here? Have a border, but it's like nobody has a clue on how to stop somebody. from coming in here? Looking at that video, even though they say it was 100 or so that did it, if you look at that video, them guards look silly. They had weapons and couldn't use them. Now, am I saying they supposed to turn them on them people? No, I'm not saying that. But in no other country would this happen. And I'm being honest, because I'm gonna tell you something. The reason why it wouldn't happen is because in addition to the country watching this situation, guess who else is watching? The world. The world is watching. They can't even keep their borders safe. How are we gonna respect them? You had 5 or 6 National Guardsmen there with rifles wrestling over a gate where they're just squirming through and then running up the thing only to be stopped again by another gate, and they screaming in English telling them to get back. They can't understand the shit. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Me, I'd have discharged the weapon. I wouldn't have shot them, but I'd have shot at their feet like a cowboy when they started running up there doing that 50-yard dash. You're going to back your ass up right now. We still in control. I think it's too many different people telling them what they can and can't do, and they just standing down there. And now, because they've been standing there and all this other stuff and not doing nothing, people feel as though no harm can come to them. You know, they run out, they old people too, running up there just acting a fool. That's the first thing. I think nobody wants to deal with this, and they putting it all on the people at these border towns and even hearing the complaints. They'll fly down there, Joe Biden and all of them, they'll fly down there. Yes, we're here. We're working on it. That's a simple fix. Shut the border permanently right now until further notice. Say it in Spanish, Swahili, whatever, Japanese, whatever you got to say it in. Do not touch the gate. Do not. We are not taking anybody else in. We're sorry. See, this is the dilemma. Mexico say, well, we're not taking them back. Well, while they're on your soil, you'll figure out a way to handle them where they won't come over here, because they're not coming over here neither. It's like they putting it all on us because somebody made it official that, oh, you can come here. Second thing was the injury concern. That could have been really bad for those U.S. troops that are just down there doing their duty. I didn't like that. I mean, they could have got overwhelmed. If them dudes grabbed them guns from them dudes, when they pushed them down and took them guns off, it was too many of them. And they went up there and started acting a fool to push themselves in here. What would they have did? Of course, you got to call to get confirmation before you can return fire and all that. It would have been a mess. It would have happened too quick. It's no way they broke through that thing like that, and the whole lack of law and order with armed troops there happened. Am I blaming the troops? Now they understand. There's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. This is dumb. It's simple. Stop, close the border till you figure out what to do with the ones you got over here. Like I say, you see the guy with what was it, Pennsylvania, Delaware? I'm not sending my troops down there. That's because he's not next to a border. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has different sides they're siding with, and don't nobody want to step on the toes of others. And the big problem still exists because people want to play favorites and stay in tune and stay in line with people that, you know, in their political circles. They don't really care about this stuff. They don't. Imagine this. You a U.S. citizen and you ran through that thing. When they tried to hold you back, they'd have shot your ass or locked you up. See, we don't get that. We don't know better. We're desperate. We're this, we're that. We don't get that in this country. Whereas they just went and pushed armed troops down, ran over them, and ran right to the next spot. This is an embarrassment for the country, and other countries seen it. And people act like, oh, like you heard me say, oh, it very rarely happens. People are frustrated. These are still human beings. And every human being has what? A breaking point. And there's always one leader in a struggle somewhere. That started with 1 or 2 people. rattling the gate, pushing on the gate. It reminded me of the movie Scarface when they had the Cuban situation in the movie Scarface when they started moving the gate and the guards are trying to spray water and get them. Same shit right there. You just seen it. You just seen it. Are these bad people? I don't know these people. But the protocol that they have is not working for them because they're running out of patience. Everybody's running out of patience. This is beyond the boiling point. Like I said before, somebody's benefiting from this big holdup and all this other stuff. They had the bill passed. That was big news. I was going to do the story on it. Only hours later, you know what? Stop. Never mind. Make the government look stupid. It do make you look stupid. You pass the bill and then you shut it down 5 minutes. Oh, pending appeal. What appeal happened in 4 or 5 hours? What appeal you ever had in court happened that fast? I guess somebody ain't making enough money or they want to get a little bit more off the top before they try to act like they're going to shut this thing down. Don't understand it. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. This whole thing is insane. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a straight up invasion where they just breached the gate or just breached into the territory to just do whatever they wanted to do. It's like lack of order, lack of control, and lack of trust from us looking at them like they don't have a clue of what they're doing. It's just confusion. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna send your troops down there. So that's how it is now. When we have conflicts, it's up to you to say if you're gonna help or not. Pennsylvania government need to step down. Trash. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. One more thing before I get out of here. Trump made them statements a long time ago about immigration, building a wall, securing the border. Everybody called him racist, a douchebag, and all this other stuff. Everybody that hated him, just funny now, the people that's in office that told you not to vote for him and get him out of here and all this stuff, is the same ones that's making him look like a genius. They figured I'd add that up. I'm out.